All right, so I'm here with Stacy. Stacy, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you doing this. Tell me about yourself. How old are you?
I'm 40 years old. I'm originally from North Huntington. I live in Pittsburgh right now. Um, I started doing heroin when I was 16 years old due to being addicted to heroin and also being in a skiing accident, got off of pills when I was 18 and got introduced to heroin. I've done heroin all the way up until 18 months ago. I relapsed 3 times in 1 week and decided I wanted to live, not die. So here I am. I was in domestic violence relationships on and off for like the last 12 years. And 6 months ago, when I got thrown over a hillside, almost killed, lost all my teeth, and had to have neck surgery, I finally decided to leave. So I've been homeless the last 6 months. I'm on waiting list, housing waiting list, but that's kind of a joke around here.
Sure.
It takes forever. And the shelters, they all have waiting lists too.
There's a lot. There's a lot there, what you just mentioned. Kind of going back. What was your family like coming up?
Um, I had a great childhood. Um, my parents were very wealthy. I went to a great school. I had everything I never wanted for anything. I always say, like, now, the only problem was there was no nurturing. There was no hugs, kisses. Everything was always fine. You're fine. You're just fine. Everything's fine. So other than that, I had a great childhood.
And then you had mentioned you got into an accident early on.
Yeah, I was in middle school and I was in the ski club. And um, me being the hothead that I was, I said to this girl, I'll race you down a Black Diamond, which is the steepest hill for skiing. And I was so far ahead of her, I turned around to see where she was and I ran into a snowmaking machine.
You ran into what?
A snowmaking machine.
Oh wow.
So I was life flighted to Conemaugh Hospital out in Johnstown. And I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks. They didn't know if they were going to have to do neck surgery because I hurt my neck and my knee. But it turned out that everything was okay. They just put me on pain pills because I did sprain my neck.
How old were you when that happened?
Like 12.
12. And that started your addiction journey.
Yeah. I found out that I was actually adopted and my real mother was a heroin addict. So
How did you find that out?
after being on the pain pills and then cut off and being dope sick, my parents didn't understand either because my adoption case is closed. They didn't know anything about my mother. Come to find out, the doctor said the only way for that to be is if my real mother was a heroin addict.
Wow.
So it's still not on paper written, that's knowing 100%, but that's the only thing they could come to conclusion.
Do you have any idea who your dad is or where your biological mom might be now?
No, everything was closed. And back, I was born in 84. So back in 84, it wasn't like it is today where you can just go on Facebook.
Everything electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it. What was first getting addicted to pain pills at 12 years old like?
I always said I felt like I was on cloud nine. Like I was always happy. As a child, I wouldn't say so much angry, but I was just like, I felt like something was always wrong. I was never happy. I was like always arguing with my brother, picking fights, always getting in trouble. So once I got on the pain pills, I was happy all the time. I was like upbeat. The doctors also said that I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. Like heroin's supposed to bring you down and you're not out. It brings me up. It gives me energy.
Yeah. What other hard drugs have you tried?
I've tried crack. I don't like that because I'm paranoid, but at the same time, I'm ready to go to sleep. I did smoke weed when I was 13, but after getting clean 18 months ago, I know I can't do anything because it'll take me.
You should be proud of yourself.
I am.
Yeah, you should be very proud of yourself. Not everybody can get to that. It's hard.
It is. It's very hard. I just realized after overdosing 3 times in 1 week that if I did not go get clean, that my kids were not going to have a mother.
Did you get hit with Narcan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They Narcan me 3 times and they were ready to pronounce me dead and I moved.
How long? And that was 18 months ago?
Yeah.
Where are your kids at now?
They're with their dad's mom due to the domestic violence and me leaving and getting kicked out of shelters because my one son has emotional problems due to all the violence and everything. They put us out, and not many shelters out here you can take your kids to. So the one that I did find that we were able to get into, we got put out of, so now they're with their grandmother until we can either get into another shelter or my housing comes through.
What's your relationship with the grandmother like?
Oh, that's a joke. We don't get along at all.
Huh?
She lets me see the kids all the time, but it's just like, it's my fault why he put his hands on me. I mean, he's an alcoholic and crackhead himself. So
Does he stay there too?
no, he's in Uniontown.
Gotcha.
So it's my fault. Her son does no wrong. One of those type of deals.
Yeah.
But I see them all the time.
When you look back on your life and everything that's kind of transpired, what's your happiest and saddest moments?
Wow. My happiest moment I would have to say is me getting clean 18 months ago. My saddest moment would probably be that I found out I was adopted. Because I always had abandonment issues, wonder why. Why was I not wanted?
Yeah. Is that painful? So when you think about it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, realizing that if she was a heroin addict, it was either her or my father. Me being a heroin addict myself, I understand. I understand both sides of the fences, even with me having kids. I completely understand. I think she did the right thing, rather than putting me through all that chaos and confusion that I could have possibly gone through.
If on the whim she saw this and knew you were her daughter, if you could run into her, if you could have a message for her, what would you say to her?
Just thank her for giving me a good life and tell her that no matter what, I will always love her.
Yeah. What's the most important lesson you feel you've learned in life?
Never take anything for granted.
Yeah.
I always say 4 words before it's too late.
What's the plan from here? In
Um,
a perfect world, what would you like to see happen over the next 3 to 5 years?
I'm waiting to get my housing back. I do have to have neck surgery. I'm trying to put that off because my C3 and 4 are herniated and they're laying on my muscles and my nerves. So that's why I'm not working, because I'm not allowed to lift anything over 5 pounds. Or I could be paralyzed if it goes through the nerves and the muscles. But I can't do surgery being out here. So once I do get housing, they're saying hopefully only another 3 to 6 months, get that surgery and get that over with so I can get back to work.
What's the hardest thing about being out here? Like, I'm sure it's a multitude of problems. You have the elements, you have trying to find something to eat, you have getting money, shelter. Like, how do you kind of manage all that on a day-to-day basis?
I just go back and look at how I was when I was addicted to heroin. And that's the thing, I was never homeless in my addiction. But I thank God every day I wasn't, because I might have lost my mind literally.
Sure.
I just look at all these folks out here. I try to help them to the best of their ability, but I know that from being there myself that you're not going to get clean till you're ready. I try not to pick fights with them. Or even get in a fight, period, because there's a lot of argumentative ones out here.
Is there a lot of younger kids out here, teenagers?
No, there's no teen. The youngest one out here is 20 years old. And she said she's been homeless since she was 12.
Wow. That's sad.
It's very sad. I always said, I wish that maybe after I get clean, cleaned up, get a house and all that, I would love to try to get grants and stuff to open up there's a lot of abandoned buildings around here.
Yeah.
Open up some of these buildings for shelters.
That's awesome.
I would love to just help the homeless because there's
Go to
so many.
addiction counseling, anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. A lot of people come to me like, Stacy, I feel like this. What do I do? Stacy, can you help me, Stacy? I'm like, well, I already have a degree.
Mama Stacy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Before we wrap it up, if there's anybody watching this, the younger generation, teenagers, et cetera, who may be kind of teetering and struggling and going down that, wrong path, what would your advice or message to them be?
You are somebody. Whatever you're going through, go get help. Because I believe that if I would have gotten help when I was younger, that I wouldn't have gone through this as long as I have.
Last thing, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Hmm. Um, to have my mom back because she died when I was 18. To have my youth back because I got addicted when I was, well, I was addicted when I was 12, but I got addicted to heroin at 17. My third wish would probably be to have this world not have so much hate.
Stacy, I appreciate you sharing your time and story.
Thank you.